Well, good morning and welcome to the city of Pasadena. We are really in an iconic area of Pasadena here at Hastings Ranch. During the holiday season, it's very apparent behind me that many of the residents take part in the festivities by decorating their house in extraordinary fashion. And starting on December 10th, many of the streets up in the Hastings area will absolutely be just packed with folks from within our own community and people that will travel from throughout the region to visit just this special place in Pasadena. Despite some of the holiday cheer, the truth is that there are predators in our community that try to prey on good residents and folks who live, visit, or work in Pasadena on a daily basis. Some of the tips that we want to provide this morning to your viewers that whether you're a resident or visiting in Pasadena, we would ask that when you're shopping to make sure that you stay completely aware of your surroundings. Try to stay in lighted areas, kind of commonsensical things that will help safeguard you and increase your awareness. We'd ask that your viewers don't leave packages in plain view in their car. Historically, what we've seen is an increased theft during this time of year, and oftentimes people that are doing the shopping won't take time to lock their car, as simple as that might seem, or they might leave the packages that they just purchased in plain view, which is always an attractor for somebody who wants to commit a theft or commit crime. Particularly of note this year, we've seen an increase in cyber theft. Not only fraud, online fraud, so viewers should be cautious about where and how they purchase material online. And if you visit online programs that resell items and you agree with the seller to meet in a place, I would ask your viewers that they meet in a public place, perhaps the Pasadena Police Department or a Pasadena Fire Department, some local public place, so that you kind of give legitimate business to the seller and to the purchaser as well. Be mindful of the packages that you leave on your doorstep. Oftentimes during this time of year, package theft does increase. We would ask that you work with either the United States Postal Service or whomever your carrier might be to arrange a time where you can either pick up the package or have it delivered to your home while you are available to secure it. And then lastly, I'd like to raise a common theme for the last several years from the Pasadena Police Department about see something, say something. Pasadena police officers will remain very proactive during this time of year. We'll be working with our CAPS volunteers, citizens assisting the Pasadena Police Department. We have one of our CAPS volunteers in uniform today so that you'll see what they look like when they're out in uniform patrol. They drive white cars. They're not police officers. They're not armed, but they're eyes and ears of the Pasadena Police Department, and they work diligently to help safeguard our community. In that effort, however, our community also plays an important role. The see something, say something strategy has worked very progressively for the last several years. If your community members and viewers, if they see something suspicious, I would ask that they call the Pasadena Police Department at 622-744-4241, or if it's in progress crime or other emergency, we would ask that you call 911. We're really looking forward to a wonderful holiday season. In part, our community shares some responsibility for their own public safety by awareness and engagement. Again, if you see something, say something, and we're looking forward to a wonderful holiday season. And without further ado, I'll introduce Fire Chief Buttrell Washington. Chief.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning and happy holidays. I'm Buttrell Washington, Pasadena Fire Chief. Spelling is B as in boy, E-R-T-R-A-L. Last name Washington, common spelling. With Christmas tree lots open, now is the good time and popular time where everyone's purchasing Christmas trees. We want to encourage you to make sure that you don't put your trees up too early or too early so that they'll dry out. You want to make sure that the trees are properly watered. You want to make sure that the tree stays green. And you also want to make sure that you keep the tree up no longer than 2 weeks after Christmas. Dry trees can ignite very easily and have a strong history of starting fires in homes. You also want to make sure that the water level in your Christmas tree does not go below the bottom of the actual part of the tree. Some people choose to put aspirin in the water to help keep the tree fresh. A burning tree puts out a great deal of heat and energy, almost as much as 1 gallon of gasoline. So please place your tree in a safe place, away from your fireplace or other heat sources. Candles are often used also as a religious significance. Please use caution when you're using candles. Please keep the candles away from children, and please make sure that they aren't knocked over, because they often start fires as well. With the potential for rain during this holiday season, it's vital that you maintain your holiday lights in a safe fashion. Please inspect your lights before you put them up or before you put them out. Make sure there's no frayed wires. Make sure there's no gaps in insulation. Make sure the plugs are all the way pushed together. And please only use lighting that's approved by the testing laboratory. Don't leave your lights on while you're not at home. You need to avoid overloading electrical outlets. Each light comes with some instruction. Usually we don't want you to put 3 sections of chains together, not more than 3. Periodically, we need to check the wires and make sure that they don't become frayed while they're outside of our home. We want to use only non-flammable decorations that are placed away, again, from heat vents or other heat sources. Be cautious of floor heaters. They can easily be knocked over, as well as other space heaters. Please be cautious that you purchase age-appropriate toys. Avoid gifts with small parts that can be pulled or broken off, and also they can serve as a choking hazard to really young children and pets. Always remember to have fresh batteries in your smoke detectors, and practice your family evacuation plans. Decorating homes and businesses is a long-standing tradition during the holidays. Unfortunately, too often, these festive decorations can increase the chance of fire or injury. Just a few other tips to keep you safe. Choose decorations that are flame resistant or flame retardant. Keep decorations, again, away from heat sources, but also windows and doors. They can easily be broken when you're opening and closing your windows or doors. Properly install your holiday lights and other decorations, and please have someone hold the ladder, just like our firefighters do when someone's climbing your ladder. Use lights that have a label of independent testing from our laboratory. Be sure that indoor lights inside and outdoor lights outside have been tested. Use LED lights. They are the most shatterproof, shock resistant, energy efficient, and produce almost no heat, making them safe to touch and gently reduce the risk of fire. Make sure all electrical cords have no frayed or cracked wires or broken sockets. Do not use or repair a worn light. Just throw the set out away and purchase a new set. And one of the most important things that we can do is make sure that we keep our exits free, especially for our businesses. We want to keep our exits free and keep decorations away from our exits and our entrances, which could impede people that may need to evacuate. So those are all the tips that we have. I have a few visual illustrations that I can show you. Here's some examples of lights that are often used. But again, if a light bulb comes out or it stops working, we just want you to get rid of it, especially if it's broken or if there's any frayed wires. Here's an example of a space heater. Again, these can become very hot, and if they accidentally fall over on top of a sock or a towel or just any anything that can catch fire, that can cause our whole home to actually burn. So we want to make sure that you're very careful with space heaters. And of course, here is an example of a 10-year life smoke alarm. So these are alarms that you can purchase in mostly any home decorating store or home improvement store. And it's a 10-year life, but you still want to check them twice a year. On this box is an example of a box of lights that have been inspected by the underwriter's laboratory. You can see their seal, their stamp here in the upper right corner. So you want to make sure all the lights that you use have this type of insignia on the box or on the tag of the lights. And then of course everyone should have a fire extinguisher. A fire extinguisher is always helpful to have in your kitchen or in multiple places throughout your home, in your garage, because you can easily put out a fire, especially a small fire, with this. Of course, you want to exit the home if you have a fire and call 911 from a neighbor's house or from your cell phone outside the home. Thank you. That's what we have. Do we have any questions?
Yes, can you speak to non-grounded outlets? And people tend to use them a lot, and because a lot of these lights don't have ground on them, I think it's okay to use them. Is that, talk about that?
Sure. Well, we always recommend that you use a grounded outlet or GFI because they can easily trip if the load is, or if it's overloaded. So that's the benefit that you have with using either a GFI or a grounded outlet. But yes, you're absolutely right. There's some outlets that don't have a GFI breaker or don't have the grounded third prong portion. So those are not going to be as safe as others, but you can certainly use them. They are within code depending on when your home was built. Any other questions for the police chief or myself?
Great.
All right. Well, thank you all very much, and I don't think we're going to rush out. So if you think of something else, just let us know.